Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited about today's video. I have for you 3 Pottery Barn dupes and I think that you guys are really going to love these. They look super close to the real thing and 2 of them are free printables. But before we get started, if you're not subscribed yet, please do hit that subscribe button down below and make sure to turn on notifications. So the first thing I'll be recreating is this Mary sign from Pottery Barn, but at $79, I think it's a little too expensive. So for my own, I'm using this frame from the Dollar Tree, and it looks very similar to the Pottery Barn one. And to start off, I'm just going to be removing everything from my frame. And the only other thing that you are going to need is the free printable. So here it is. I did all the work for you guys and you can get this totally for free on my blog. I will leave this link down below. So here's my blog. Once you head over there, you're just going to scroll on down to the bottom of the article and you will see the free printable links. So I have the first one right here and this is the one I'll be using today. And I also have a smaller version if you want to print at home. But this is the 9.5 by 11.5 version, and this is going to fit that Dollar Tree frame perfectly. So if you want to have it printed at your local print shop, just hit download and save that file to your computer. Or if you want to print it at home on the smaller version, I have that for you right here. But I'm going to be going with that larger version today to make it fit that frame perfectly. So once I saved the file, I went over to staples.com and I'm going to show you here how I ordered it. So I'm going down here to professional print and then I'm going to be choosing that file that I just saved to my computer. So once I just click it here, I'm going to hit choose and it's going to upload to the Staples website. You'll see here, and then I'm going to be choosing the 11 by 17 and then you're going to take off scale to fit. And you'll see here the red portion, we're going to cut that out after we pick it up and that is going to fit that frame perfectly. So I'm going to go here to paper, scroll all the way down to the bottom and just hit that cover white one. Then just hit next. And you're going to make sure that it is on color. And then I picked no finishing and that is it. It was only 89 cents. So here it is. I picked it up and I trimmed off all that white and now it is going to fit the frame perfectly, just like that Pottery Barn one. So the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure it had no glare. So I don't want to put it behind the glass because I want it to look pretty accurate. So I'm just going to be using some tape here and taping it to the top of the glass. So this will make sure that it's nice and sturdy, but it will not have the glare of the glass. And then once you just tape it on there, you're just going to put everything back into that frame to make sure that it fits nice and tight, and then just secure the backs down. And that is it. You are all done. So you can see here that it is nice and straight because it has that glass backing, but it doesn't have the shine of the glass. Now let's see our comparison to that Pottery Barn one. I must say it looks pretty close, and for under $2, I'm super happy with that craft. And the next thing I'll be recreating is this Merry and Bright art print from Pottery Barn. So I'm going to be using another one of those frames like we just used before, and this one honestly looks just like the Pottery Barn and it already comes with that white matting, so it's honestly perfect. And the only other thing that you need is the free printable, and this one is from that same blog post. I'll leave that link below, and this one can be printed at home, so it's even easier. I'm going to be repeating that same process of using the glass as the backing since I don't want that glare, but the Pottery Barn one had the matting, so I am going to use that. So with this print, you just want to make sure that it is pushed all the way down to the bottom of the matting. You can see here, that's where it's going to line up best. And then I'm just putting some tape on it and making sure I secure that to the glass. Then just put everything back into that frame and secure the tabs down, and that is it. You are done. This one honestly does not get easier. And like I said, if you print it at home, it is only $1. How amazing is that? But if you do want to have it printed somewhere like a Staples, I believe it's maybe around 50 cents for something like this. So also super affordable. Compared to the Pottery Barn one, this is a near exact match. And the last one I have for you today is this planked wood snowflake wall art. So this one is $350. It is pretty pricey. So to recreate my own version, I'll be using this sign from the Dollar Tree. So the first thing I'm doing is just removing that string because we're not going to need that, and we will be filling in those holes. But I'm going to take off this metal sign first since I do want to save that for a future craft. But then I'm just going to be turning my board over because we will actually be painting on this side today. So once I removed that sticker, it was time to fill in those holes. So I'm just going to use some spackle for this. You can actually pick up some spackle at the Dollar Tree if you don't have any at home. So once I let that dry, I'm just going to sand it off so it is nice and flat. And then I'm also just using that sanding block on that sticker residue to try and make sure that it's not going to be too sticky. And now I'm covering my entire board in this white chalk paint. I will actually leave this one linked down below. I got it at Amazon. And here it is, all nice and dry. And now to make it look like it has planks, like that Pottery Barn one, I'm just going to be taking a ruler and using a black colored pencil and just making some light lines across it. You can kind of see here the Dollar Tree, it looks like it has planks already on the sides. So I'm just kind of making the lines wherever I see those. And then I'm going to use my finger to rub out the lines to kind of give it some definition and make it look a lot more realistic. And this is what it looked like when it was all done. Next, I picked up these wooden dowels from the Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using some paint stain on them today. It's a little hard to see here, so I will leave this one linked down below. It's also from Amazon. So it's kind of like a paint, but it almost looks like a stain on the wood. So here I'm just dipping some of it on a white paper towel and just kind of rubbing it into the wood. I wanted to give it a light stained look, but not paint the whole thing. I want you to still be able to see that it is actual wood. And 10 do come in this pack, and I honestly didn't need to stain all of them. I ended up only using 6. So if you're recreating this, you don't need to stain all of them. So first, I'm starting off with the center of that snowflake. So you'll see here I'm just using some wire cutters to kind of score the wood, and then I just snap it in half. It's a little bit easier this way. So, and I want to just take off that end also to kind of give it a little bit more of a rustic look, so it looks more handmade. And once I measured out my center stick, I'm just going to be gluing that down with some hot glue. Next, I made a X basically through that center line. So to do this, I measured up one of those sticks and I wanted to make it the same length. And then once I did, I cut it in half. So you'll see here, I'm kind of like making a line go diagonally through it. So I'm going to repeat that same process again. So just cut it to make sure it's the same length of the center stick and then chop it in half. And then I'm going to be securing them all down with some hot glue. Now, once you have that main frame of the snowflake, you're going to need 12 small pieces to make that center star. So these pieces here are about 1 inch long. I kind of just eyeballed it. So you'll see here that before I actually glue them all down, I want to make sure that they all fit together. So you're just going to take 2 and then you're going to glue them in kind of like a point. And then we're going to do this in each section of the snowflake, and it's basically going to give the appearance of a star going around the inside of the snowflake. And here it is with the star all done. And now we're also going to need 12 more small pieces about the same size as those little guys from before. So I'm just marking them off here, about 1 inch long I would say, and then just scoring them with some wire cutters and then snapping them off. And these are going to be for the little outside parts of the snowflake. So once I got the right size, I kind of just used it to measure some more. And then you'll see here, I'm just cutting a bunch out. And once I had all 12 cut out, I just lined them up at the tops. And now I'm just going to secure those all down with some hot glue. And that is it, it's all done. So it's really simple. It takes a little bit of time, but honestly, it was really fun. And here it is compared to that Pottery Barn one. And that is some amazing savings. I know it is a lot smaller, but I think it's really beautiful. And it still has that same feel of the original Pottery Barn one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these crafts today. If you did, leave me a comment down below on which one is your favorite. And thank you so much for watching. If you are not subscribed yet, I would absolutely love to have you subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell because I will be releasing a bunch more Christmas videos and I don't want you to miss any of them.